For 20 years, the World Cup formula was simple: 32 teams, 8 groups, and a straight path to glory. But in 2026, FIFA completely flipped the script. 48 teams, 12 groups, a brand new round of 32. It is the biggest expansion in the history of the tournament, and it changes absolutely everything about how this World Cup will be won. Today, I am breaking down exactly how the new format works so you never miss a single detail. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button because we are your ultimate guide to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now, if you open up social media right now, you will see thousands of fans completely lost. They are looking at the bracket and asking, wait, how did this team advance? Or, why are they playing this team? It is completely understandable. When you change a format that has been the standard for 2 decades, it takes time to adjust. But here is the secret. Understanding this format actually gives you a massive advantage. When you know exactly how the third-place qualification works, you can predict the knockout matchups before they even happen. You will be the smartest person in your group chat. By the end of this video, you will be a complete expert on the 2026 World Cup structure. Let's dive right in. Let's start with the group stage. In previous tournaments, we had 8 groups of 4 teams. In 2026, we have 12 groups of 4 teams. That means there are 48 teams in total. Each team will play exactly 3 matches in the group stage. The top 2 teams from each group will automatically advance to the knockout stage. That gives us 24 teams moving forward. But this new structure changes the psychological pressure on the teams. With 12 groups, the traditional group of death concept actually shifts. Because there are more groups, the gap between the top seeds and the lower seeds is slightly narrower in some brackets, but the pressure is higher. Every single team knows that a single draw could be fatal. You cannot afford to have a bad day in the group stage anymore. The margin for error has completely vanished, making every single group match feel like a knockout game. To fill out the bracket, the 8 best third-place teams across all 12 groups will also advance. This is a massive shift. In the past, finishing third meant going home. Now, it gives you a lifeline. FIFA will rank the third-place teams based on points, then goal difference, then goals scored, and finally fair play points. This means every single group match matters. A team that loses their first 2 games might still scrape through if they win their final match and get favorable results elsewhere. This creates a fascinating bubble scenario on the final day of the group stage. Teams will be constantly checking their phones, looking at other scores, doing live math to see if they are in the qualifying zone or dropping out. It adds a layer of mathematical drama to every single day of the group stage that we have never seen before. Quick pause. If this breakdown is making sense, hit subscribe right now. We are covering every rule, every match, and every story of this tournament. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming. Alright, let's talk about the knockouts. Welcome to the brand new round of 32. This is the first knockout round, and it replaces the traditional round of 16. The 24 group winners and runners-up, plus the 8 best third-place teams, will face off in single elimination matches. But let's look at exactly how the bracket is constructed, because this is where the real tactical challenge begins. The round of 32 is divided into 2 distinct halves. The top half of the bracket features the winners and runners-up of groups A through D. The bottom half features groups E through L. Here is the catch, and this is crucial. The exact opponent for a group winner depends entirely on which specific third-place teams qualify. Think about the nightmare scenario for a group winner. You dominate your group, you win all 3 games, you feel invincible. But because of the complex third-place rules, your reward for finishing first is facing a third-place team from a completely different half of the draw that just scraped through with 1 win and 2 draws. That team has nothing to lose, they are playing with house money, and they are incredibly dangerous. This forces managers to keep their scouting teams working overtime right up until the very last minute. Quick question, which part of this new format do you think is the most dangerous for the big teams? The expanded groups or the unpredictable round of 32 bracket? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. Now let's look at the physical toll. Once a team survives the round of 32, they enter the traditional round of 16, followed by the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final. To win the World Cup, a team must now play 7 matches instead of 6, but it is not just about the number of matches. It is about the sheer geographical scale of this tournament. We are not just talking about playing 7 games. We are talking about playing them across 3 massive countries with vastly different climates. Let's look at a hypothetical but very realistic scenario. A team starts in the freezing, snowy conditions of Toronto or Seattle. They advance, and suddenly they are flying to the high altitude of Mexico City, where the ball travels faster and lungs burn for oxygen. Then they have to travel down to the Gulf Coast, playing in Miami or Houston, where the humidity is so thick you can practically drink the air. This isn't just a football tournament, it is an extreme endurance test. Managers will have to rely heavily on sports science, nutritionists and recovery specialists. The team that wins the World Cup might not just be the one with the best tactical system, but the one with the best recovery protocol. So, why did FIFA make this massive change? While the financial aspect and increased match volume are undeniable, the sporting legacy is what truly matters. By expanding to 48 teams, FIFA is giving nations that have historically been left out of the biggest party in sports a chance to participate. Think about the impact this has on a country's footballing infrastructure. When a smaller nation qualifies, it inspires millions of kids back home to pick up a ball. It brings investment into their local leagues, improves their coaching standards, and elevates their entire sporting culture. We saw the incredible impact Morocco had on the African continent in 2022. Now, imagine that feeling multiplied across dozens of nations. This format democratizes the beautiful game, making it truly global. Now, before we wrap up, here's some quick historical context. The World Cup has grown significantly over the decades. In 1982, it expanded to 24 teams. In 1998, it grew to 32 teams. And now in 2026, we reach 48 teams. But here's the interesting part. We actually have a preview of how this works. Euro 2024 used a similar structure with 24 teams, where the best third-place teams also advanced. And what did we see? Incredible drama on the final day. Teams that finished third still made deep runs. Giant killing moments in early knockout rounds. This is essentially a scaled-up version of Euro 2024, but with more teams and more surprises. The data suggests that third-place teams are genuinely dangerous. They have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So which teams benefit most from this new format? Let's break it down. First, the host nations. The United States, Mexico, and Canada have massive advantages playing on home soil with passionate crowds. But more importantly, the expanded format gives them a safety net. Even if they have a bad day in the group stage, they can still advance as one of the best third-place teams. This takes pressure off and allows them to play more freely. Second, the emerging football nations. Countries that have historically struggled to get past the group stage now have a genuine lifeline. A single victory could secure a third-place finish and a spot in the round of 32. This is huge for football development in Asia, Africa, and North America. We're likely to see nations that have never won a World Cup knockout match suddenly advancing and making history. Third, the traditional powerhouses also benefit. Teams like Brazil, France, Germany, and Argentina now have more room for error. If they have an off day, they can still advance as a runner-up or third-place team, then use their superior quality to dominate in the knockouts. The expanded format gives the best teams a second chance, making the tournament even more unpredictable. So there you have it, the complete, simple breakdown of the 2026 World Cup format. 12 groups, third-place qualifiers, a massive round of 32, and a grueling physical test across 3 countries. It is going to be chaotic, it is going to be dramatic, and it is going to be beautiful. If this video cleared up your confusion, please smash that like button and subscribe for more World Cup coverage. Drop a comment below telling me which team you think will benefit the most from this new format. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.